If you have a small business and you're having difficulty keeping employees long term, this video is for you. I've got 8 great tips coming up. Welcome to Job Tips, the career development channel. And developing your business is developing your career. So you have a business and you're having difficulty keeping employees long term. What to do? Well, there are many things you can do, and this video includes 8 tips that hopefully will help you out. So tip number 1, treat your employees kindly. And the reason I say this is it is not uncommon for employers and supervisors, managers, and so on, once they have employees on staff, to forget that and to become maybe less than polite to employees, or maybe talk down to them or berate them or what have you. I guess the assumption might be that, well, they're working for me now and so I can treat them any way that I want. Where else are they going to go after all? Especially in situations where it might be a tight job market. But that is certainly a recipe for disaster as far as keeping employees long term. So treat them kindly. Go back to the golden rule. How would you like to be treated? Treat them that way. Number 2, provide a sense of flexibility within reason. And the area of flexibility about which I'm speaking is in terms of how they do their job. Now, certainly, there are process requirements with certain types of jobs that require step by step, and I get that. But where you can and where it makes sense, give them flexibility to utilize their skills, their mind, their creativity when it makes sense to do so. Okay? The other area of flexibility that you might consider is in terms of when they come to work. If they have childcare needs or other situations, if you can work with a flexible work schedule, however you can do that within your company, do that. Let them know that you care enough about their situation that you're willing to work with them with their schedule. Now, flexibility will go a long ways. Number 3, compliment their work. When they do good work, let them know that you noticed it and that you appreciate their hard work. But also don't be afraid to let them know in an appropriate way if they're slipping. So if they have issues with quality or timeliness or other issues regarding their work, let them know that as well. Be judicious in how you do that so that you don't lose them, especially if they're quality employees that you otherwise are quite pleased with. But make sure that they know what their performance level is. If it's great, though, do let them know. Compliment them. Sometimes employees will work for years and years for a company, and they're doing their very best, and they're doing great work, and they never hear it. They never hear the compliment from the boss. So that'll go a long way in helping them feel comfortable and good about where they're working and helping them have a want to stay there long term. Okay? Number 4, set clear expectations as to what's required of them. If the employee doesn't know exactly what's required of them, how are they going to perform to that level? Most people will perform to the levels that placed upon them, but they have to know. So be very clear. And I would also recommend that those expectations be put in writing so that if there ever is a situation where maybe you need to do some disciplinary action or let an employee go, you have documented proof of them being notified of the expectations placed upon them and that you did your due diligence to ensure that they had every opportunity to do the right thing. So set clear expectations. Number 4, allow them the freedom to fail. Now, this doesn't apply where life and death are at stake or safety issues are at stake and they've been well trained in terms of safety. But generally speaking, they're not robots. They're not computers programmed to do exact perfection every single time. And there's a possibility, being human, that they could fail. If that does happen, if they slip in an area and it was a situation that might not have been avoidable, don't make them feel terrible about it. In fact, there's a good chance that you've made the same mistakes that they will make. I've owned service companies, and I've managed companies as well for other people, and I always let employees know that quite likely there's not a mistake that they'll make that I haven't already made. And that makes them feel pretty good because they have room to learn and to fail if need be, or if it should occur, without feeling like they're going to be having a ton of bricks lowered down upon them for failing. Now, if that failure continues long term, over an extended period of time, that should be readdressed in a different setting perhaps. But let them know that, listen, you're going to make mistakes. And as long as it's not gross negligence or just for not doing what you know you're supposed to do, if they're just honest mistakes, no big deal. We can get through it. Okay? I would say also number 6 is allow yourself opportunity to give them gradual pay increases. And the reason I said allow yourself the opportunity is in small businesses, it's, I won't say fairly common, but not uncommon for sure, for an employer to bring an employee on at a nice, healthy pay rate that's already kind of toward the top of where the employer feels that they should be paying that person. If you can bring the person on board with something a little less than that, that's a good wage still, particularly in comparison with that person would be making working someplace else, right? That gives you room to increase your pay rate, giving them pay raises as you see their quality of work continuing to climb. Their ability or willingness to take on additional responsibilities, good punctuality, quality of work, conscientiousness, all those sorts of qualities that deserve maybe a tad more money. So if you start off at the maximum pay rate because you have a certain, pay percentage goal for your company and you're already at the top, makes it very difficult to give those pay raises. Everyone likes a pay raise. Everyone likes to be rewarded that way when they're doing a great job. So give yourself that room to give them pay raises, and then of course give them those pay raises. Okay? Number 7, provide recognition. Depending on the size of your company, have an Employee of the Month program, or give them a plaque or something when they do really, really good work. If they're in sales and they close a really big account or they've done something that's super extraordinary, give them the recognition that it deserves. Okay? Number 8, and finally, tell them that you appreciate them, their hard work, their diligence, their punctuality, all that. When they are doing really good work, let them know you appreciate them. This is kind of in tandem with the treat them kindly and compliment them, but tell them you appreciate them. Use those words. You appreciate them. People want to be appreciated for what they do. If you follow these guidelines, and there are other things as well, but these 8 pointers, I think for sure, will put you on the path to keeping employees longer than otherwise, because employee turnover is very, very, very expensive. Once you have a good one, keep them. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it for you. I'd be so honored and grateful if you would subscribe to this channel, hit that like button and the notification bell to be notified when new videos come out. In the meanwhile, I hope you have the kind of job, career, or business that you want to have.